February 2026, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The arrest warrant listed 92 classified documents. Not a summary, not a category. 92 specific files, individually numbered, each with its own classification designation: F-22 Raptor airframe vulnerability assessments, ICBM launch trajectory data, HIMARS targeting calibration protocols, force deployment posture documents for the Pacific Theater. 92 files transmitted to Chinese military intelligence over a period of several months, for a total payment of $42,000. Sergeant Korbein Schultz, United States Army intelligence analyst, held a top-secret SCI clearance. He had access to some of the most sensitive military technical documentation in the American defense inventory. He used that access to build a collection package for a foreign adversary. When the FBI announced the case, Director Kash Patel made a public statement. He did not use measured diplomatic language. He said directly, "The price of betrayal will be steep." The sentence handed down: 84 months, 7 years in federal prison. The 92 files are in a Chinese military intelligence database. Every single one of them. Subscribe. This is one of the most significant military technology espionage cases in recent federal history. This channel has the full investigation timeline. Sergeant First Class Korbein Schultz had been assigned to an Army intelligence unit at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. His clearance, top secret with access to sensitive compartmented information, was among the highest classification tiers available to Army enlisted personnel. He had earned it through years of service and through multiple background investigation cycles that found nothing adverse. The clearance gave him access to compartmented intelligence programs and to classified technical documentation produced under several of the most sensitive defense development programs in the United States military inventory. The F-22 Raptor is the Air Force's premier air superiority fighter. Its airframe characteristics, radar cross-section profile, and vulnerability assessments are among the most closely held technical intelligence in the U.S. military. Countries that could develop countermeasures against the F-22's specific performance profile would have a significant operational advantage in any air superiority conflict. The documents Schultz provided included F-22 vulnerability assessments, the specific vulnerabilities the assessments described, the conditions under which the aircraft's performance could be degraded, the parameters that define its operational limits. The ICBM data he transmitted covered launch trajectory documentation, the flight path parameters for specific intercontinental ballistic missile variants. Understanding those trajectories has direct implications for the effectiveness of missile defense systems. A defense system designed to intercept an ICBM's trajectory needs to know that trajectory. A country that knows the trajectory in advance can refine its interception capabilities. The HIMARS data overlapped with the broader HIMARS collection effort that Chinese military intelligence has been running across multiple sources. Adding Schultz's packages to that collection, bringing in Fort Campbell's intelligence section documentation on HIMARS targeting protocols, filled specific gaps in the Chinese military's technical picture of the system. 92 files, 3 weapons systems, 1 Army sergeant. The forensic report on Schultz's collection operation contains one detail not disclosed in the initial charging documents. We will come to that. The Chinese intelligence contact who recruited Schultz has been identified in court documents as operating under a cover identity linked to an academic institution in Hong Kong. The recruitment approach followed the established pattern for Chinese military intelligence targeting of U.S.-cleared personnel: initial contact through a professional platform, gradual escalation from legitimate academic discussion to classified territory, and payment structures designed to look like legitimate consulting income. Schultz was paid through a combination of cryptocurrency and wire transfers. The total across the documented transmission period, $42,000, broken down across 92 files, that amounts to approximately $456 per classified document. The F-22 vulnerability assessments, the ICBM trajectory data, the HIMARS targeting protocols, $456 each. That number has a specific quality to it. Not because the damage can be measured in dollar terms, the damage cannot be measured in dollar terms. But because the gap between what was paid and what was received illustrates the fundamental asymmetry of military technology espionage, the documents were worth incalculably more to the receiving country than the $42,000 Schultz was paid to provide them. He did not negotiate his price well. More precisely, no price he could have negotiated would have reflected the actual value of what he transmitted. What would you have done in the position of the Army intelligence officer who reviewed Schultz's access logs and first identified the anomaly that triggered the investigation? Type A if you immediately escalate to FBI counterintelligence. Type B if you conduct an internal review first to confirm the pattern before escalating. The investigation that identified Schultz followed the pattern now familiar from other military espionage cases of this period. An access log anomaly, a user account pulling classified documents outside the parameters of their documented duty assignments at irregular hours, in a pattern inconsistent with legitimate work requirements, triggered a counterintelligence referral. The FBI's National Security Division received the referral and opened a joint investigation with Army counterintelligence. The surveillance period ran for several months, documenting additional transmissions and building the evidentiary record before the arrest was made. The arrest itself proceeded at Fort Campbell. Schultz was in custody within hours of the warrant being executed. His personal devices were seized simultaneously with his arrest. The search of his quarters and personal storage recovered the devices used for the transmissions, records of the cryptocurrency and wire payment receipts, and, in a detail that the court characterized as particularly significant, a personal notebook in which Schultz had maintained a log of the documents he had transmitted, organized by category. A log of his own espionage operation in a notebook. The notebook is in the federal evidence file. It lists 92 entries. The factual basis of Schultz's guilty plea addressed each of the 92 documents by category. The plea agreement, signed in 2025, reflected his acknowledgement of the full scope of the transmission. No contested documents, no disputed categories. 92, all of them. The sentencing took place in early 2026. Federal prosecutors sought a substantial sentence, citing the classification level of the transmitted materials, the range of affected weapon systems, and the duration of the collection operation. The defense argued for a below-guideline sentence based on Schultz's cooperation and his relatively young age. FBI Director Kash Patel's public statement, "The price of betrayal will be steep," was made in connection with the sentencing announcement. It was not the language of a routine federal press release. It was a direct address to cleared military personnel who might be considering similar conduct. The price, 84 months, 7 years. The sentence is in the federal record. The 92 documents are in a Chinese military intelligence database. Those two facts coexist. They will coexist as long as both records exist. Your engagement shapes which cases this channel investigates. Comment 84. If you believe the sentence reflects the gravity of what 92 classified documents represent, subscribe so you see the follow-on investigation coverage. The F-22 vulnerability assessments that Schultz transmitted are now being reviewed for whatever remediation is possible. When a vulnerability assessment is compromised, the standard response is to determine whether the vulnerability it describes can be addressed, whether the aircraft can be modified in ways that change the profile the assessment describes. Some vulnerabilities can be addressed through modification, some cannot. The assessment contains both categories. The ICBM trajectory data is being assessed for operational impact. Whether the transmitted trajectory parameters affect the posture of U.S. strategic deterrence in ways that require adjustment is a classified determination that has not been publicly addressed. The HIMARS targeting protocols add to the accumulated Chinese intelligence picture of that system. Each additional data point, from Schultz's collection at Fort Campbell, from other sources across other investigations, contributes to a composite technical understanding that the Chinese military is building document by document. Schultz's 92 files were one contribution to that composite. The forensic detail not in the initial charging documents. The investigation identified a secondary channel through which Schultz had transmitted preliminary information in the period before the formal classified document transfers began. This preliminary channel, documented in the investigation but not separately charged, contained communication that indicated Schultz had conducted a survey of available materials before committing to the full collection arrangement. He effectively scoped the collection before beginning it. A deliberate survey before the 92 files, establishing what was available, what categories were accessible, and what would be of value. That is not the behavior of someone acting on impulse or under pressure. That is operational planning. The sentence reflects it. 84 months for an operation that was planned, scoped, and executed over an extended period. 7 years, 92 files, 3 weapon systems. The notebook with 92 entries is in federal evidence storage. Schultz will be released in his early 30s. The F-22 vulnerability assessments will still be in a Chinese military intelligence database. The files do not serve time. Only the man who transmitted them does. Subscribe. Director Patel's statement about the price of betrayal is the operational message of this case. This channel will be tracking how that message is applied in future prosecutions. 92 files, 456 here each, 7 years. The notebook has 92 entries. Every one of them is still in the database. Director Patel said the price would be steep. 84 months. The files are in Beijing. The notebook is in Fort Campbell, in federal evidence storage. All 92 entries. The combination of weapon systems in Schultz's 92 files is not random. It reflects a specific intelligence collection priority that Chinese military planning has been pursuing systematically. The F-22 vulnerability data, the ICBM trajectory data, and the HIMARS targeting protocols each address a different dimension of U.S. military capability in a potential Pacific conflict scenario. Together, they contribute to a specific kind of analysis. What are the vulnerabilities in American air power, strategic deterrence, and ground-based precision fire in a Taiwan Strait or South China Sea conflict? A country doing operational planning for such a conflict would want exactly those 3 categories of information. Not in the abstract, in the specific technical detail that only classified documents provide. Schultz's collection, 92 files organized across those 3 categories, was not a disorganized theft of whatever was accessible. It was shaped. The preliminary survey phase confirmed it. The handler identified specific priorities. Schultz accessed the materials that matched those priorities. The collection was directed. Someone told the handler what to collect. The handler told Schultz. Schultz delivered 92 files. The someone who told the handler has not been charged in the United States. They are, in all probability, inside China's military intelligence apparatus, beyond U.S. jurisdiction, reviewing the 92 files. The collection architecture, the survey phase, the targeted categories, the systematic documentation, suggest professional intelligence management, not an amateur operation or a financially motivated improvisation, a directed technical collection program. Schultz was one source in that program. The program has other sources. Some of them have been identified and prosecuted. Others are active and unknown. The ongoing investigation designation in Schultz's case acknowledges this. The case against Schultz is closed. The collection program that directed his activities is not closed. There are other notebooks in other quarters at other installations, containing other entries. The F-22 data, the ICBM trajectories, the HIMARS protocols, these systems are still deployed, still operational, still the subject of Chinese military intelligence collection efforts. Schultz's contribution to that collection is filed and analyzed. The program continues without him. 84 months removes him from access. It does not remove the program. That is the distinction that Director Patel's statement about the price of betrayal addresses without explicitly stating. The sentence is not only about Schultz, it is about deterrence, about the message the prosecution sends to every other cleared military analyst who has been approached or who might be approached. The message: the price is steep, the FBI knows what to look for, the access logs are monitored, the pattern of transmission is visible to investigators who are specifically trained to find it. 84 months is the documented price, and the 92 files are still in the database. That last part is not in the FBI's press release, but it is in the case. And it is the part that does not resolve when the sentencing hearing ends. The notebook has 92 entries, each one cross-referenced to a specific document, each document still accessible to the people who received it. F-22 vulnerability, ICBM trajectory, HIMARS targeting. Each line in a notebook. Each line in a database. Subscribe. When the next Army intelligence espionage case develops, and based on the pattern of recent cases, there will be one, this channel will be the first to have the full analysis. The notebook is Exhibit 14 in the federal evidence file at Fort Campbell. 92 entries in Schultz's handwriting. The price of betrayal, 84 months. The files still accessible. The program still running. The notebook in federal storage. Every entry accounted for. Every one of them already gone. There is a procedural element of the Schultz case that has received less attention than the documents themselves. And that speaks to the specific challenge of prosecuting military espionage in the current counterintelligence environment. The guilty plea structure in this case was negotiated over an extended period. Schultz's cooperation, the full acknowledgement of 92 files, the documentation of the transmission channels, the identification of the collection categories, was not automatic. It was the product of a legal process in which the government's evidence was weighed against the defendant's interest in reducing the sentencing exposure. The 84-month sentence reflects the cooperation credit embedded in the plea agreement. The guidelines range for the charged offenses: unauthorized transmission of national defense information across 92 documents at the top secret SCI level to a foreign adversary would have placed the advisory range considerably higher. The cooperation that produced the credit included information about the handler network's operational procedures, the communication channels used, and the collection tasking Schultz received. That information is in the sealed cooperation annex of the plea agreement. The sealed annex is in the court file. Its contents have benefited the counterintelligence investigation that continues around and beyond the Schultz case. That is the specific value of a cooperation agreement in a military espionage case. The defendant's sentence is reduced in exchange for information that advances the investigation of the broader collection network. The network, the handler, the tasking authority, the other sources, is the investigation that matters more than any single defendant. Schultz's cooperation contributed to that investigation. What it contributed specifically is in the sealed annex. Director Patel's steep price statement was targeted at potential future sources in the collection network. It was also a signal to the investigation. This case is being taken seriously at the director level. The resources are there. The attention is there. The handlers who receive that signal are outside U.S. jurisdiction. The signal reaches them through the public record of the sentence. 84 months for 92 files. The calculation is part of the message. Every cleared military analyst who considers a similar arrangement is now doing that calculation. 84 months for $42,000 for 92 files. Whether that calculation deters every potential source is not knowable. Whether it deters some of them is the operational purpose of the public statement. The deterrence is the point of the sentence being public. The sealed annex is the point of the cooperation. Together, reduce this network's ability to recruit future sources by demonstrating the legal consequence. Extract information about the network's operations from the source who is already caught. Use that information in the ongoing investigation. Both things simultaneously. 84 months for Schultz. And somewhere, The handler is operating under a different cover, with different communications protocols and a new collection tasking. The F-22 data is filed, the ICBM trajectories are analyzed, the HIMARS protocols are integrated. The network moves to the next source. Subscribe. The counterintelligence investigation that Schultz's cooperation contributed to is ongoing. This channel will be here when it produces the next arrest. 92 files, 7 years, 1 sealed annex. The notebook is in federal storage. The database is in Beijing. The network is still running. Director Patel said the price would be steep. 84 months. And the investigation continues. One more element that the public record does not address and that the case raises implicitly. The F-22, the ICBM, and HIMARS represent 3 separate military capability domains: conventional air superiority, strategic nuclear deterrence, precision ground-based fires. The combination of those 3 domains in a single collection effort is operationally specific. A country doing tactical planning for a conventional conflict, a Taiwan scenario for example, primarily needs the conventional data, the F-22 vulnerabilities, and the HIMARS targeting protocols. The ICBM trajectory data addresses strategic nuclear deterrence. Including it in the same collection operation alongside conventional weapons data suggests a broader analytical objective than tactical conflict planning alone. Understanding the ICBM trajectories has implications for missile defense system calibration, for early warning system configuration, and for the analysis of strategic nuclear force postures. It is intelligence that serves a different purpose from the tactical level conventional weapons data. Why were all 3 categories in the same collection tasking? The sealed annex may address this. The tasking Schultz received, the specific instructions from the handler about what to collect and why, is in that annex. The public indictment does not explain the collection rationale. It lists the 92 files. It establishes the transmission. It proves the crime. It does not explain the strategic logic of the 3-domain collection set. That logic is in the sealed annex. Or it is in the assessment that Chinese military intelligence produced from the 92 files. An assessment that is in Beijing in a database, classified at whatever level Chinese military intelligence uses for materials acquired from human sources. The United States has a copy of the 92 files. They are the originals. China has copies. They were transmitted. Both copies exist. One is in American evidence storage. One is in Chinese military intelligence files. The notebook has 92 entries. 1 for each copy that left. 84 months. Subscribe. The files are in both places. The network is still running. The notebook has all 92 entries. The price was steep, but the files are already filed.